Sailors come to the drum out of Babylon. Hobby horses foam, the dumb sky rhinoceros glum. Watch the courses of the breakers, rocking horses, and with losses Lady Venus on the settee of the horsehair sea. Where Lord Tennyson in laurels with her Gloria free in a boreatic iceberg came Victoria. She knew Prince Albert's tall memorial took the colours of the floral and the boreatic iceberg floating on they see. You arisen, Madam Venus, for whose sake from far came the fattened zebra emperor from Zanzibar. Where their golden bouquets lay for Asia, Africa, Cathay lay before that shaded lady by the fibroid Shah. Captain Flackerstout, as any water butt came, stood with Sir Bacchus, both the drinking the black tar grapes blood, plucked among the tartan leafage by the furry winter's griefage, could not wither, like a squirrel with a gold star nut. Queen Victoria, sitting shocked upon the rocking horse, of a waves it to the laureate, this minx, of course, is as sharp as any minx, and black and deeper than the drinks, and quite as hot as any Hottentot without remorse. For the minx, said she, and the drinks, you can see, are hot as any Hottentot, and not the goods for me. In the early springtime after their tea, through the young fields of the springing bohea, Jemima, Jocasta, Dinah, and Deb walked with their father, Sir Joshua Jebb, an admiral red, whose only notion, a butterfly poised on a pig-tailed ocean, is of the peruqued sea whose swell breaks on the flowerless rocks of hell. Under the thin trees, Deb and Dinah, Jemima, Jocasta walked, and finer their black hair seemed, flat sleek to see, than the young leaves of the springing bohea. Their cheeks were like nutmeg flowers when swells the rain into foolish silver bells. They said, if the door you would only slam, or if, Papa, you would once say damn, instead of merely roaring avast, or boldly invoking the nautical blast, we should now stand in the street of hell, watching siesta shutters that fell with a noise like amber softly sliding. Our moonlight glances through these blinding would see at her table creamed and set Myrrhina sitting at her toilette, with eyelids closed as soft as the breeze that flows from gold flowers on the incense trees. The Admiral said you could never call. I assure you it would not do at all. She gets down from table without saying please, forgets her prayers and to cross her T's. In short, her scandalous reputation has shocked the whole of the hellish nation, and every turban chinoiserie with whom we should sip our black bohea would stretch out her simian fingers thin to scratch you, my dears, like a mandolin. For hell is just as properly proper as Greenwich, or as Bath or Joppa. What are you staring at, mariner man? Wrinkled as sea sand and old as the sea. Those trains will run over their tails if they can, snorting and sporting like porpoises flee. The burly, the whirligig wheels of the train, as round as the world and as large again, running half the way over to Babylon, down through fields of clover to gay Croydon, up puffing their smoke as grey as the curl on my forehead as wrinkled the sands of the sea. But what can that matter to you, my girl, and what can that matter to me? Long steel grass, the white soldiers pass, the light is braying like an asp. See the tall Spanish jade, with hair black as nightshade, worn as a cockade. Flee her eyes gasconade, and her gowns parade, as stiff as a brigade. Tee-hee, the hard and braying light is zebra black and white. It will take away the slight and free tinge of the mouth organ sound. Oyster stall note oozing round her flounces as they sweep the ground. The trumpet and the drum and the martial cornet come to make the people dumb. But we won't wait for slight night, moonlight watered, milk white bright, to make clear the declaration of our Paphian vocation beside the castanetted sea, where stalks Il Capitano, swaggart braggadocio, sword and mustachio. He is green as a cassada, and his hair is an armada. To the jade, come kiss me harder, he called across the battlements as she heard our voices thin and shrill as the steely grasses thrill, or the sound of the onika when the polka has the pika in the palace of the Queen Chinese. Of the heat, Dolores, Inez, Manuccia, Isabel, Lucia, mock time that flies. Lovely bird, will you stay and sing, flirting your sheened wing, peck with your beak and cling to our balconies. They flirt their fans flaunting. Oh, silence enchanting as music, then slanting their eyes. Like gilded or emerald grapes, they take Mantilla's capes, hiding their simian shapes. Sighs each lady, our spadille is done. Dance the quadrille from hell's towers to Seville. Surprise their siesta, Dolores said. Through gilded trellises of the heat, spangles pelt down through the tangles of bellflowers. Each dangles her castanets. Shutters fall while the heat mutters, with sounds like a mandolin or tinkle tambourine. Ladies, time dies. When Don Pasquito arrived at the seaside, where the donkeys hide tide braid, he saw the bandito Joe in a black cape, whose slack shape waved like the sea. Teaches road to teach, noting we to silver like the sea. The lovely cheat sweets, firmer road notices that she will steal the weak king's luggage like Babel before the League of Nations grew. So Joe put the luggage and the label in the pocket of Flo the kangaroo. Through trees like rich hotels that bode of dreamless ease-fled sheep, carrying the load and goading the road through the marine scene to the sea. Don Pasquito, the road is eloping, with your luggage so heavy and large. You must follow and leave your moping, right to my guidance and charge. When Don Pasquito returned from the road's end, where vanilla-colored ladies ride, from Sevilla his mantilla'd bride and young friend were forgetting their mentor and guide. For the lady and her friend from the Touquet, in the very shady trees upon the sand, were plucking a white satin bouquet of foam, while the sand's brassy band blared in the wind. Don Pasquito hid where the leaves drip with sweet, but a word stung him like a mosquito. For what they hear, they repeat. Jumbo asleep, grey leaves thick furred at his ears, keep conversations blurred. Thicker than hide is the trumpeting water, Don Pasquito's bride and his youngest daughter watch the leaves elephantine grey. What is it grieves in the torrid day? Is it the animal world that snores, harsh and inimical in sleepy pause? And why should the spined flowers red as a soldier make Don Pasquito seem still moldier? In a room of the Paris, black Mrs. Behemoth gave way to wrath and the wildest malice. Cried Mrs. Behemoth, "Come, come, come, court lady, doomed like a moth through palace rooms shady." The candle flame seemed a yellow pompion, sharp as a scorpion. Nobody came, only a bugbear air unkind. That bud-furred papoose, the young spring wind, blew out the candle. Where is it gone? To flat Coromandel rolling on. Where the satyrs are chattering, nymphs with their flattering glimpse of the forest enhance, all the beauty of marrow and cucumber narrow and Ceres will join in the dance. Where the satyrs can flatter the flat tree fruit and the get Queen Bean and the marrow, say Queen Venus, Silenus will settle between us, the good and the cucumber narrow. See, like Paris is hid in the lake, they shake those greenhouses shop our arrow narrow. The gardener seizes the fleeces like creases for gilding the potting shed barrow. There the radish roots and the strawberry fruits feel the nymphs high boot in the glade, trampling and sampling mazurkas, cachucas, and turcas, Krakowiaks hid in the shade. Where in the haycocks the country nymphs gay flocks wear gowns that are looped over bright yellow petticoats, gaiters of leather and pheasants' tail feathers in straw hats bewildering many a leaden bat. There the hay make flowers and wines in showers, the dew in the dog shit by flowers. Pumpkin and marrow and cucumber narrow have grown to the spangled June hours. Melons as dark as canes have from their fountain waves thick as gold honey, and wrinkled as dark as pan, all at Silenus, said youthful as Venus, our golds and the wrinkled fingers of the jewels ran. Said Queen Venus, Silenus will settle between us, the nymphs' disobedience forestall. With my bow and my quiver each fresh evil liver, for I don't understand it at all. Rose and Alice, oh, the pretty lasses with their mouths like a calice and their hair a golden palace, through my heart like a lovely wind they blow. Though I am black and not comely, though I am black as the darkest trees, I have swarms of gold that will fly like honeybees. By the rivers of the sun I will feed my words until they skip like those fleecy lambs, the waterfalls and the river's horned rams. Then for all my darkness of a lovely tree, a tree wherein the golden birds are singing in the darkest branches. Oh, across the thick and the pastel snow, two people go. And do you remember when last we wandered this shore? Ah, no, for it is cold-hearted December. Dead the leaves that like asses' ears hung on the trees when last we wandered and squandered joy here. Our husband will listen for these whispers, these tears for joy's beer. And as they walk, they seem tall pagodas, and all the ropes let down from the cloud ring the hard cold bell buds upon the trees, codas of overtones, ecstasies grown for love's shroud. That hob-nailed goblin, the bob-tailed hob, said it is time I began to rob. For strawberries bob hobnob with the pearls of cream like the curls of the dairy girls, and flushed with the heat and fruitish ripe are the gowns of the maids who dance to the pipe. Chase a maid? She's afraid. Go gather a bob-cherry kiss from a tree, but don't, I prithee, come bothering me, she said, as she fled. The snouted satyrs drink clouted cream neath the chestnut trees as thick as a dream, so I went and leant where none but the dotish, coltish wind nuzzled my hand for what it could find. As it neighed, I said, "Don't touch me, sir, don't touch me, I say. You'll tumble my strawberries into the hay. Those snow mounds of silver that be the spring has sucked his sweetness from, I will bring with fair-haired plants and with apples chill. For the great God Pan's high altar I'll spill not one." So in fun, we rolled on the grass and began to run, chasing that gaudy satyr the sun. Over the haycocks away we ran, crying, "Here be berries as sunburnt as Pan." But Silenus has seen us. He runs like the rough satyr's son. Come away. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la! "See me dance the polka," said Mr. Wag like a bear, "with my top hat and my whiskers that tra-la-la-la trap the fair. Where the waves seem chiming haycocks, I dance the polka. There stand Venus children in their gay frocks, maroon and marine, and stare to see me fire my pistol through the distance blue as my coat. Like Wellington Bar and the Marquis of Bristol, buzzbid grape trees float. Where the wheezing hurdy-gurdy of the marine wind blows me to the tune of any rooney sturdy over the sheeps of the sea, and bright as a seedsman's pracket, with zinnias candy tuts chill, is Mrs. Marigold's jacket as she gapes at the indoor still, where at dawn in the box of the sailor, blue as the decks of the sea, Nelson awoke, crowed like the cocks, then back to the dust sank he, and Robinson Crusoe, Rousseau, the bright and foxy beer, but he finds fresh isles in a negress smiles, the poxy doxy dear. As they watch me dance the polka, said Mr. Wag like a bear, in my top hat and the whiskers that tra-la-la-la-trap the bear. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Cried the navy blue ghost of Mr. Bellacre, the Allegro Negro cocktail shaker. Why did the cock crow? Why am I lost on the endless road to infinity tossed? The tropical leaves are whispering white as water. I race the wind in my flight on the promenade, edging the far-off sand is the foam of the sirens, metropole and grand. As I raced through the leaves as white as water, my ghost flowed over a nursemaid quarter, and there I saw the long grass weep, where the guinea-fowl plumaged houses sleep, and the sweet-ringed doves of curded milk watch the infanta's gown of silk in the ghost room tall, where the governante whispers slyly, fading andante. In at the window then looked he, the navy blue ghost of Mr. Bellacre, the Allegro Negro cocktail shaker, and his flattened face like the moon saw she, rhinoceros black, yet flowing like the sea. Something lies beyond the scene, the younger regime, marine, obscene horizon. In hell, black as a bison. See the tall black aga on the sofa in the algamote, his bell rope moustache clear as a great bell. Waves in 1880 buses come, late with tambourines of rustling foam. They answer to the names of ancient names and chains, and only call horizons their home. Cold ladies, Chinese, the seas, black armor fleas, the dance, the breeze is seeking for horizons wide. From our horizons, in her wide pavilion lie the seaside. The doors clang open and hide, where the wind died. Nothing but the princess cockatrice leave, dancing a caprice to the wind's tambourine. Daisy and Lily, lazy and silly, walk by the shore of the one grassy sea, talking once more neath the swan-bosomed tree. Those tussles to rels, those bustles where swells each home bell of earnings, they roam and determine what fashions have been and what fashions will be, what tartan leaves born, what crinolines worn. By Queen Thetis, pelisses of tarlatan, blue like the thin plaided leaves that the castle crags grew, or velour d'Affront on the water god's land. Her hair seemed gold trees on the honeycell sand, when the thickest gold spangles on deep water sea were like twanging guitar and like cold mandolin, and the nymphs of great caves with hair like gold waves of Venus mortality, Louise and Charlottine bore me as daughters, and the nymphs of deep waters, the nymph Calione, Grisi, the Ondine, were plaided Victoria and thin Clementine like the crinoline waterfalls. Wood nymphs wear bonnets, shawls, elegant parasols floating are seen. The Amazons wear balzarine of jonquil, beside the blonde lace of the deep falling rill. Through glades like a nun, they run from and shun the enormous and gold-rayed rustling sun. And the nymphs of the fountains descend from the mountains like elegant willows on their deep barouche pillows. In Kashmir, Alvandar, Barège, Isabel, like bells of bright water from clearest wood well. Our elegants favouring bonnets of blonde, the stars in their apiaries, sylphs in their aviaries, seeing them spangle these and the sylphs fond from their aviaries, fanned with each long fluid hand. The mantos espagnols mimic the waterfalls over the long and the light summer land. So Daisy and Lily, lazy and silly, walk by the shore of the one grassy sea, talking once more neath a swan-bosomed tree. Rose blossoms, tourelles, those bustles, morels of the shade in their train follow. Ladies, how vain hollow! Gone is the sweet swallow. Gone, Philomel. We bear velvet cream, green and baby-ish. Small leaves seem each stream, horses' tails that swish. And the chimes remind us of sweet birds singing, like the jangling bells on rose trees ringing. Man must say farewell to parents now, and to William Tell and Mrs. Cow. Man must say farewells to storks and bats, and to roses, bells, and statuettes. Forests white and black in spring are blue with forget-me-nots, and to lovers true still the sweet bird begs and tries to cozen them by angels' eggs, sold by the dozen. Gone are clouds like inns on the garden's brinks, and the mountain gins Ganymede sells drinks, while the days seem grey and his heart of ice grey as chamois or the edelweiss, and the mountain streams like cowbell sound, tira, lira, drowned in the waiter's dreams, who has gone beyond the forest waves, while his true and fond ones seek their graves. Take a bath in Jordan Gordon on the holy Sabbath on the peaceful day, said the huntsman playing on his old bagpipe, boring to death the pheasant of the night, boring the ptarmigan and grouse for fun, boring them worse than a 9-bore gun, till the flaxen leaves where the plumes are ripe, heard the tartan wind droning in the pipe, and they heard Macpherson say, where do the waves go, what hotels hide their bustles and their gay umbrellas, and would there be room, would there be room, would there be room for me? There is a hotel at Ostend, cold as the wind without an end, haunted by ghostly poor relations of Bostonian conversations, like bagpipes rotting through the walls, and there the pearl ropes fall like shawls, with a noise like marrying waterfalls. Another little drink wouldn't do us any harm, pierces through the sabbatical calm, and that is the place for me. So do not take a bath in Jordan, Gordon, on the holy Sabbath, on the peaceful day, or you'll never go to heaven, Gordon McPherson, speaking purely as a private person. That is the place, that is the place, that is the place for me. Silly and shady, longing to be a lazy lady, walk with the cupulous gables in the lake's Georgian stables. In a fairy tale like the heat intense in the mist in the woods, when across the fence the children gathering strawberries are changed by the heat into negresses, and their fair hair shines there like gold-haired planets Calliope, Io, Pomona, Antiope, Echo, and Clio. Then Lily O'Grady, silly and shady, sauntered along like a lazy lady beside the waves, haycocks are down, the clocks was upset in the colour of shining reducts, and her fol-de-rol parasol was a great gold sun, or the haycock shining, but she was a negress, black as the shade, the time on the brightest lady laid. Then a satyr-dog haired as trunks of trees began to flatter, began to tease. And she ran like the nymphs with golden foot that trampled the strawberry buttercup root in the thick gold dew as bright as the mesh of dead Panope's golden flesh, made from the music whence were born Memphis and Thebes in the first hot morn, and ran to wake in the lake where the water ripples seemed made to rake. And Charlotte, Adeline, Ronda's bubbling Victorine, and the other fish express a wish for mastic mantles and gowns with a swish, and bright and slight as the posies of buttercups and of roses, and buds of the wildwood lilies, they chase her as frisky as fillies. Red retriever held satyr, can whine and tease her and flatter. But Lily O'Grady, silly and shady, in the deep shade is a lazy lady. Now Pomp is dead, home is red, Heliogabalus lost his head, and shade is on the brightest wing, and dust forbids the bird to sing. Old Sir Faulk, tall as a stalk, before the 100 fruits of dawn where ripe would walk, and stalked with the gun, the wren-coloured sun. Among the pheasant-feathered corn, the unicorn has torn forlorn the stone-faced sheep. Sit and sleep, merry-wee, as with the young and merry we. Sally, Mary, Matthew, what's the matter, why cry? The huntsman and the wren-coloured sun on my side. Oh, the nursery maid Meg, with a leg like a peg, chased the feathered dreams like hens, and when they laid an egg in the sheepskin meadows where the serene King James would steer, horse and hound came he from the shade of a tree, picked it up, a spoiled the nursery tea, said the mourners. In the corn tower's train, feathered tall as a crane, and whistling down the feathered rain, oh, lower goes again an old dull moan with a head like a poem, seeing the world as a bare thing laid by the feathered air. Meg would beg 3 of these for the nursery teas of Japhie, Chem, and Ham. She gave it underneath the trees where the boiling water hissed like the goose king's fed the daughter kiss. Pot and pan and copper kettle, put upon the proper metal, lest the flood begin again through these. Beelzebub called for his syllabub in the hotel in hell where Proserpine first fell. Blue as the gendarmerie where the waves of the sea rocking and shocking the barmaid. Nobody comes to give him his rum, but the rim of the sky hippopotamus glum enhances the chances to mess with the Bendis and Alfred Lord Tennyson, crossing the barlade with cold vegetation from pale deputations of temperance workers all signed in memoriam, hoping with glory to trip up the laureate's feet, moving in classical meters. Like Balaclava, the lava came down from the roof, and the seized the wooden gendarmerie took them in charge, while Beelzebub roared for his rum. None of them come.